Are you ready to transform? Well, step into our Busy Yogi World Studios, where we motivate, educate, and inspire you to make great lifestyle choices. It's time for a vibrant, healthier, and happier you. The KCOR Digital Radio Network welcomes you to Busy Yogi with your host, Valerie Okunami.
Good morning and namaste. I have a great show for you today with a powerful metaphysician. So what is metaphysics? I know you've heard about it a lot, but what actually is it? Metaphysics is a branch of philosophy that studies questions related to the nature of something, its essence, or its qualities of being. Metaphysics seeks to answer in a suitably abstract and fully general manner the questions. Caitlin Soul is a student and practitioner of this branch of philosophy that deals with the first principles of abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space. As an energy worker, therapeutic body worker, integrative nutrition health coach, health educator, and herbalist, she supports her clients to bring the three aspects of the self, mind, body, spirit, into balance. Some of us operate entirely from the logical mind, from the ego. Others live connected mainly to the spirit and forget their physical presence. And then there are others that feel separate from their spiritual nature and are searching for a path that just makes sense. Caitlin supports and promotes balance in these parts of the self to bring about wholeness. All of us have strengths and weaknesses in these areas, and it isn't about mastering them all. Having a stronger sense of balance allows for a strong foundation to grow in areas you feel you would like to improve in. No one path is the same. No one answer fits everybody. Caitlin brings support, healing, and education to her clients, so together they create a plan fitting their individual needs. So we'll talk to Caitlin as soon as we finish this short meditation to ground our energy. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Lengthen your spine by reaching the crown of your head up to the sky. Feel your spine lengthen. Pull your shoulders down and back and feel them melt. Now bring awareness to your breathing. Notice how it feels to breathe. Feel the inhale. Feel the exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel any tension that you're carrying inside of your body and release it now. Set aside any worries and cares you may have so you can fully be present in the moment with your breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Now take a big inhale through your nose. Hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Exhale fully through the mouth. Good. Now reach your arms up to the sky and stretch as you breathe in through the nose. Exhale fully through your mouth. Release your arms by your side. One more time. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, release your arms. Now notice the difference in how you feel. Slowly open your eyes. Good morning, Caitlin.
Good morning.
Hey, thanks for being my guest today. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me. I appreciate your meditation. It's definitely helped calm my nerves.
Oh, good. I know if you've never done this before, it can be a little scary, but you'll be fine. It's a lot of fun. It goes by quick.
Cool. All
So
right.
my first question is about your journey and how you became a metaphysician. I find usually that people who help others usually had to have help once themselves, so they understand the
Yeah,
process, right? So
absolutely.
how did your journey begin to becoming a metaphysician?
Okay. Um, so when I realized, I think I was about 18, 19 years old, and I realized that I wasn't healthy. I didn't feel good. I felt disconnected. I felt scattered. I think that's pretty normal for someone in that age group. I was kind of in between some of my religious upbringing and discovering what maybe made more sense to me. And I wasn't really healthy. I wasn't eating food that was good for me. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed. I wasn't surrounding myself with the kind of people that were healthy for me. And I didn't really know what to do. And so I felt like there was this higher sense in this world. And I said, teach me to heal myself. That was kind of the moment I can go back to where I decided to ask for something that has changed my life. And so, it wasn't fireworks or anything crazy. It was really just like, all right, I put the message out there. I guess I'll wait. um, but the point is I wanted that. I deeply wanted it. And so that was my manifestation. That was the point at which I started to manifest this. And, spirit listens, the universe listens, God listens. And when you truly seek, you're provided with a path, you're provided with teachers, you're provided with everything you need to succeed on your path, especially when you are in alignment with your highest self, your highest good, the good of, all those around you. So, at that point, I met people. I started taking classes. I learned Reiki. I became a massage therapist. I started to connect with people and get into groups of people who are more in alignment with my vision for my life, and started to kind of create this vision for a future of community, which is something that I missed. At that time, I didn't have people to support me. And so, does that kind of sound, I could
Yeah.
bring you all the way up till now, but I think that everything in between, there's just little experiences.
Well, so you were sick and tired of being sick and tired, and so you wanted to
Yep.
get healthy, and you wanted to explore how to do that. So, what was the first
hmm
thing that happened to you? What was the first thing you did? Was it diet? Was it meditation? Was it, did you dump all your friends? What did you do?
the first thing I did was I became open to anything that made sense. I think the first thing was I started to listen. In my practice, I feel like the most important thing we can do is listen. Um, we're constantly inundated with stimuli, words, images, sounds, even the breeze. Now this toxic air from the fires, where
Mm-hmm.
our bodies, our skin, our psyche is constantly inundated. And I think what happened in that moment, the first thing I started to do was listen and start to recognize when the little things that came up in my life started to click and make sense. And the first thing that I heard was where I was probably very shaky as a spiritual path. Something that I'm always still creating, I'm always
Mm-hmm.
learning new things and growing in it. But having an openness to recognizing when that door was being opened to me. So I'd say listening was the first one. And the first thing I started to explore was kind of a new spiritual path, different from what I was raised in and different from anything I had ever considered. And so I started reading books on all kinds of things. I took a class in college on magic, science, and religion. I took, you know, basically any information I could just to educate myself and explore and expand. And then from there, I started to learn more about nutrition. I was actually raised to eat very healthy. My mom was really into the health stuff, and so I was very blessed by that. And so I think where a lot of my illness came from, my displacement, was a feeling of connection to that spirit connection. So.
Yeah, I know in recovery, a lot of the claim to recovery is healing from spiritual sickness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the first step, is healing the spirit. And usually everything else will follow from there.
Absolutely, because when we can listen, when we get to that point where we can hear, we'll constantly get that validation when we're on the right path, and we'll get those things coming to us. And, you know, some people have a pretty strong sense of spirit, and maybe, you know, they have a connection to a path that makes sense to them. And that's where, when you read, like, some people are so focused on the ethereal and, you know, spirit and connecting and supporting people, they forget about their body. And so that's where maybe someone else's path, they need a little bit more focus on self-care, on sleep, on, you know, those kinds of things that maybe would support their physical presence, because they're already giving so much and they're already sending out. And so there's definitely the right path for everyone. But yeah, I'd say more often than not, you're going to get your biggest bang for, you know, kind of opening up that ability to awareness. Yeah, the awareness. And
once you have that, it's hard to go back. I mean, you can't go
I know,
back.
right now,
it's impossible to go back.
It is. And that's why it's funny is when you hear the call, you know, I've had some of my teachers say, well, you have this choice. And inside I'm hearing myself say, this isn't a choice. Thank you. No, thank you. Like, I've heard it. I don't really have the choice anymore. But the thing is, it's so beautiful, and it's all created out of love. But what happens is we have fear. And so, you know, then we get into all other cycles and like different things we work on. You know, we always have our ups and downs. Sometimes we forget for a minute to be grateful, and, you know, we kind of get sidetracked in life. And so that's where community, that's where having a practice and having some kind of rhythm in that manner, that really supports us in our, you know, everyday life, which is what the coaching does. And so, you know, doing the massage therapy, body work, you know, getting deeper into my own sense of path of spirit, and, you know, listening. You know, the coaching was so exciting for me to start to work with people, because we, you know, like I was saying, we have so much going on. Sometimes just having someone there to listen so that we can hear ourselves. Everyone has advice. We've all got advice. I've done it in the past, but you hear what's going on with somebody and we want to help them. We want to tell them what to do, but really we each have a deep sense of knowing what we need, and we all can heal ourselves. And that's the beauty of it. That's what excites me so much. And that's why I always start my story with that question I ask the universe is, teach me to heal myself. Or it was, I guess it wasn't a question. It was a plead, a request, you know.
It was, you begged the universe, help me, please.
I begged, yes.
You're on your knees
that's exactly
begging.
what it was. A little bit. It felt like that. Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
that's the point where you can be helped, when you have nowhere else to go.
Yeah,
rock
you
bottom, we call
realize
it,
you don't have the answers.
right? So I always thought that, balance is always changing,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
it changes with the circumstances that you put yourself in and so on. And I think it's a matter of knowing what's out of balance and what to get back in balance. But then I think that um, being okay with being afraid, I think, is
Mm.
important, because fear gets in the way of so many things.
Oh, yeah.
There's either fear or there's love, right? I mean, that's what I've been told. So if you're not
Mm.
operating in love, then you're operating out of fear.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've I've thought a lot about fear lately. I have my own fears, with having a healing practice, with trying to reach out and put myself out there, and make myself available to people. There's a lot of that fear. There's excitement too. I've also heard that fear and excitement are the same. They're the same energy. It's
Hmm.
just one spectrum or the other. It's one end of the spectrum. And so, one of the things I have heard, and I have not mastered it yet, but you can take that fear, right, and that and kind of transmute it and transform it into excitement. And um, it's it
It
can
can
be
also be
debilitating.
compassion. It could be passion.
Yeah. Yes. Passion. Yes. Absolutely. And it's that there's this intensity of emotion around it. Sometimes we don't know what it is. It's like, am I afraid? Am I afraid? Am I excited? Am I just passionate? Am I angry? It's sometimes not easy, which is why the meditation, which is why knowing how to find that center place, and again, always goes back to listening. What's really happening here? Spirit, help me, higher self, God, angels, whoever it is that you connect to, and however you connect to that higher source, they'll help you, you know. Um, and you can get those answers just by listening, or inside too, listening to yourself,
Hmm.
getting to know yourself and your reactions, your body. One of the things that I thought about recently is courage. you know
Oh, courage is
um,
huge. It's being
yeah,
afraid, but
and
doing it anyway, right?
exactly, stepping through the fear. It's not being afraid. I told my kids
Right.
this recently. I said, it is not being afraid. That's not what courage is, because they're all into like good guys and bad guys, and the superheroes and all this stuff, and they're so brave. And being brave and having courage, it's not about not being afraid. It's about stepping through that, and just finding little ways, and then recognizing when you do that every day, because we do it every single day. And yeah, I think that too. Another thing about our own healing path is, like you said, acceptance. I can't remember exactly the words you said a few moments ago, but accepting when we don't do it quite the right way, or just kind of.
Yeah, I think that goes back to our addiction to perfection,
Yeah,
which creates a
yeah.
lot of issues. We just have to be okay with things as they are. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
And really,
Yeah,
it's just a matter of how we label things, which is our own judgment. And that can be a little iffy.
true. And so the way that we work through that, right, is first by recognizing, and then forgiving.
Yeah,
And
forgiveness is a big
then,
one.
yep, forgiving ourselves, forgiving people in our lives. Forgiveness is a big part of the healing path. And I'm not really in order here, and I'll tell you why, because everyone's path is different. Some people might need to hit forgiveness first. Some people might have to do a different thing first. Some people might have to, um, you know, I can't think of anything right now, off the top of my head. It'd be easier if I had like a person in front of me, and I could, like having a conversation with people. That's when the things come, because part of the work is listening. Part of the work is, kind of being aware, me also listening to them and being open to any other message that may just come through. I remember I was working with a client, and we were working on releasing a lot of really intense guilt. And we were working on a muscle group, and I kept getting this message in my head, and it kept going. And I was like, oh, do I have to say it? What if I sound weird? But all of a sudden I said to her, hey, I have this keeps going through my head. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it means anything to you, and I said, it's not your fault. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I was hearing in my head too. I was like, confirmations, forgiveness, just recognition. It was really beautiful. And I think, again, the listening, the openness, being present, that's really what I try to do in my practice. Presence, listening. That's the foundation.
Yeah, I think you're doing a good job with it. And
thank you.
No, I think it's hard to be sensitive. You have to be pretty strong. Not to take. We talked about this when we met the other day about absorbing other people's energies, and not. It's empath stuff, right? Not knowing what's yours and what's theirs. Can't define the two. So how do you define the two when you're an empath?
That's a practice in itself sometimes, right?
Meditation, I guess, huh? Just have to be really grounded.
Acceptance, like we said, just kind of coming to that deeper appreciation for your sensitivity, unworking the programming. Unwinding that. You can do that through meditation. You can do that through counseling and coaching. You can do that by listening and connecting, like with the earth. That's such a hugely therapeutic experience for people to get their hands and their feet in the dirt, or just having someone who you can talk to, because that lets you start to cycle through.
What I started feeling lately is I've been feeling the earth breathe.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good connection cycle. Just kind of roll with it. The sensitivity thing again. The other thing I wanted to say, I almost forgot, is we're programmed to be tough. We're programmed to be tough. This three-dimensional world is hardcore, and not a lot of people have space for sensitivity. I think, then you have the other end, where we have these outcroppings of people who are really supporting spiritual practice. People are really getting in there. And then we also have another end too, where sometimes people focus too much on their sensitivity. And so like you're saying,
it's a balance.
We create that balance. Exactly. And that's going to depend upon the person. But for me,
Hold that thought.
Definitely.
And we're about ready to take a hard break. When we come back, we'll talk with Caitlin Soul more about metaphysics. We'll be right back.
This is Busy Yogi with Valerie Okunami, exploring lifestyle choices for a vibrant, healthier, and happier you. Live every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. We would love you to become part of the show by calling 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers use Skype name KCOR Radio, or follow along with us on our live chat at kcorradio.com. More from within our virtual studio after this.
KCOR Las Vegas.
All the time.
Of course I listen.
I listen all day.
It's the best music.
KCOR, the new underground source for news, talk, and music at KCORradio.com. Tell your friends, email them, or Facebook them, or Twitter them.
Hey, are we done here? Because I'm losing my buzz.
If ever a breed was affectionate to a fault, it's the Golden Retriever. They're people dogs, pure and simple. And the Golden Retriever Rescue of Southern Nevada needs your help. If you would like to volunteer, foster, adopt, or donate, go to the Golden Retriever Rescue of Southern Nevada's website at grrsn.org. That's grrsn.org. Or call 598-GOLD. That's 598-GOLD.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is your captain. I'd like to welcome you on Jackpot Airlines Flight 1610, service to Lost Wages.
They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, apparently, they need a reality check done Vegas style.
Vegas, 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 Vegas.
Tune in Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern, for Reality Check, hosted by Jessica Johns, exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
Biggest star in the world, bigger than Britney and Christina put together.
If it's happening on the Vegas Strip, you'll know about it here first.
You are a dirty little fun haver.
Join Jessica Johns as she explores and goes behind the scenes of what's hot and what's not. From the best entertainment Vegas has to offer to national celebrity gossip.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Jessica has her finger on the heartbeat of the city, and she's waiting to share it with you. Reality Check, hosted by Jessica Johns. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern. She does Vegas right.
Yeah, baby.
Here's what happened on the last episode of Three Guys, No Ties.
I picked up my daughter, and she was suspended for 2 days in school for bringing her horny toad there. So I worked for a law firm, which the owner of the law firm then paid money to get my daughter's horny toad registered as an emotional support pet, so my daughter can take that horny toad.
Three Guys, No Ties. Wednesday nights, 7 to 9 Pacific on the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Busy Yogi Studios. The KCOR Digital Radio Network hotline number is now open. 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers use Skype name KCOR Radio. Tweet your comments anytime to KCOR using the hashtag KCOR. Join the conversation live and share your thoughts of the show in our chat room at www.kcorradio.com. Now, back to your source for the best in trends and topics for balancing your mind, body, and spirit. Busy Yogi with Valerie Okunami.
Namaste. We're back with Caitlin Soul talking about metaphysics and healing and how to bring balance to your mind, body, spirit and cut through the clutter so you can shine and become who you were meant to be. So before the break, Caitlin, we were talking about something that was important. Maybe you could help me remember what that was.
Yeah, I think we were talking about putting things into practice, right? Like how do we take that sensitivity? How do we take our strengths and weave them together, right? And protect ourselves. Because sometimes we can really open up that window and then the floodgates open up and you're getting all this stimuli, you're getting all this energy, you're getting all this stuff. So I think one of the most basic ways that people can do, and this is pretty much across the board, is like you say, the meditation, grounding, doing, if you ever feel yourself in a situation where you feel, for me, with my sensitivity, you know, I feel buzzy, I feel lightheaded, I feel maybe a little nauseous sometimes. Other people might have different experiences, but that's what I have. And just taking that moment, even if you maybe in a group of people, you just say, hey, I'll be right back. You can go to the bathroom, go to a bathroom stall, imagine it's a forest, whatever you need to do to get into that grounded place. And also, I think there's a little bit too, if as an empath, most empaths are healers, right? We're all healing ourselves. We're all healing each other. Every time we connect, we may not put a lot of thought into it, but that's sometimes better. But the fact is, we're constantly feeling with and for people because we want to connect and we want to support. And there's got to be boundaries. And the best thing to do for balance is create boundaries. Some people hear boundaries and they think that it's scary, closing off, or some people hear boundaries and they're like, yeah, I want a steel gate and brick wall and all of that, and we don't want to make it too strong and we don't want to make it too weak. We want to find this place where our boundaries can be firm and supportive of others and protective of us. So that really, when we get into that, it depends upon the person, depends upon the situation. And sometimes it's as simple as just going inside and saying, I'll take what is mine and I'll leave you what is yours. And you just kind of create this, okay. And so it takes practice. Some people like to do a visualization. Imagine like a protective, screen. Sometimes it has like a blue light or it looks like crystal or, whatever it is, but a screen is really nice. You get to accept love. You get to accept things. You get to give things through that screen, but you also get to set the intention that, I'm going to keep my energy here and you're going to keep your energy and we're going to meet in the middle. That's a lot of times the very basic stuff that's going to help you can build on.
Yeah, I find that most of these balancing acts and boundary setting things, they're all very basic. And sometimes we like to make things much more complicated than they have to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, it can be even as simple as just choosing a totem or choosing a thing, a necklace, a shirt. Oh, a shirt's good, and kind of using that item to create a physical presence of your intention too.
That's a great idea.
But it's so simple because we're human beings on a very, physical plane of existence. We can't deny the fact that we need those things. That's okay. And so, we can, whatever resonates. But yeah, it's really the simple stuff. And that's why it sometimes feels, you feel foolish, like, someone's coming to me for help, but I'm, they probably have heard what I'm going to say already, but maybe they're going to hear it in a new way. So, you just keep saying it. We all hear so much. Sometimes I know this is something that happens in my family, and probably to my husband most of all, is he'll say something to me and I'll kind of be in some other thing. And then I'll say, oh, hey, what do you think about this idea? And he'll just look at me and like, I just said that. And all of a sudden I thought it was my idea, right? Or he'll tell me the same thing over and over again, like, he'll try to support me and tell me what to do. And then all of a sudden, one of my girlfriends will come up and say the exact same thing that he's been saying for weeks. And I'll hear them.
I know.
I feel sad for my husband sometimes.
Caitlin, I have April on Skype who has a question for you. Actually, she beat me to the punch because I had a question, the same question. So that goes into what you just said. With the holidays coming up, she wants to know how you ground yourself when you're around toxic family members.
Oh, yeah,
I know that's a tough one. It's an opportunity to heal for sure.
Yes.
To practice.
Right. So right there, first thing is try to create a space for forgiveness. You know, we have so much, some would say so much karmic baggage with our families, and also the physical experiential baggage from growing up. Maybe there was abuse, maybe there was neglect. You know, we can't say what their path is, but we do have control over our path. And so, you know, kind of forgiving, doing that protection thing, saying, I'm going to keep my energy and I'm going to let you have your energy. It's harder because, you know, we grew up with these people a lot of times, and they know our buttons. Oh my gosh, they know our buttons. So, you know, I mean, grounding, meditation, going in clean, and that can be creating a ritual for yourself. That's special, because really we don't have control over them. And so all of my suggestions are going to be self, you know, things you can do for yourself. And so creating that, maybe you find yourself a beautiful shirt that makes you feel powerful and centered, and it's you, and you wear that shirt. And as you're putting that shirt on, you imagine, you know, this is me. This is me. This is keeping my energy. You know, it doesn't matter what their opinion is. They don't actually know me. They may think they do because, you know, I grew up with them 10 years ago and, you know, I used to be a terror or whatever, you know, we were kids. But, you know, kind of doing that with the physical kind of protection. A big one is triggering, right? When we're with those family members, and being able to step away. So if you start to feel yourself being triggered, just kind of listening and having the awareness towards that, breathing, you know, like yogic breathing, maybe step away and go to the bathroom, say, oh, hey, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Or go for a little walk if you're able to do that. It depends upon your situation, where you're at, the weather, all that good stuff. But it could be as simple as just removing yourself from the situation so you can center again and come back to you after being triggered. Is there, I think those are some of the best foundational things we can do. Is there any follow-up question on that?
No, I don't see any follow-up question. But I think before going into Thanksgiving, it's important to be well rested and to have eaten fairly well. Because without those two things, I think you're more vulnerable.
Yes. Thank you for bringing in the physical aspect. That's exactly right. Yeah. Self-care, right? Taking care of your immediate, you know, physical needs. The sleep is huge if we are depleted. Yeah, no, thank you. That's perfect. That's really good. Oh, the other thing, right? Thanksgiving. This seems like it should be obvious, and then it just kind of pops into my head. Gratefulness. Really focusing on gratefulness. We will attract what we put out, right? The law of attraction. Trying to start to put together that strong sense of thanksgiving, gratefulness for the good things. If we can focus on the good things, you know, there are some family members too in my life who maybe they have said things or done things that have hurt me. But, you know, they do have the good qualities. And so trying to focus on that when I see them, and seeing them with that unconditional love and appreciation. And, you know, if it's not unconditional, then focus on the thing that they do well. Everyone has something they do well. You know, it can be a small thing. Maybe they have nice fingernails. I don't know. It doesn't have to be crazy, but find something to appreciate about them. That's always super helpful when you're confronted with, you know, the stressful situations. Just bringing your vibration up, and that will help bring everyone else up too.
That's a good idea. I like that about bringing up the vibration of the entire room.
Yeah. And also, if it's not working just on the internal level, compliment people. You know,
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard for your, let's say, I don't know, a sister-in-law, maybe who you kind of butt heads with, and you notice she's wearing a necklace that she really likes, and you say, "Oh, wow, that necklace looks beautiful on you." And if you can really feel that and mean that, that's even better. But sometimes there's a fake it till you make it aspect. We have our own stuff that we're dealing with too, but giving love, and I think that'll just really help pick up the space too. And when they hear that from you, that even if there was some other thought in their mind, it's going to bring them that love, so.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
But it can be a very difficult situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I also encourage people, this may not be a popular choice, but you may choose not to attend a family gathering. That's okay too. I can't tell anyone what's right for you, but sometimes it's not a healthy place, psychologically,
1 year,
physically. Yeah.
One year I was really tired. I had been doing a lot of training, and I was pretty depleted, and I didn't go to my parents' Thanksgiving, and they were really mad. I went and got Chinese food, and I just sat in bed and watched TV, watched movies, and I felt really good. So don't ever get down on yourself or feel guilty for taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
They got over it. We're good.
Right. Because, yeah. And it's in time heals that, appreciation, understanding, your family, wants you would hope they want you to be your very best. And so over time, they'll learn to accept that that's what you need, even if it's not something they understand. And it's part of it is teaching them who you are now as a person. And so, yeah.
And you teach people how to treat you.
Right. Yeah. You let people know your boundaries. Exactly that. That's creating a respectful place for everybody, and just, being direct too. It might have to be direct. Not everyone likes to be, but if you can be and say, "Hey, I just want to let you know that kind of triggers me. I just want to move past it."
Yeah.
If it's something like a teasing that's going on or something like that is what I had in my mind. Just letting people know straight up, "Hey, I know that you meant it for fun, but it kind of triggers me still. And, I'd rather think about this other time when we did this together and it was really fun, if you can do that." Yeah, but this is, time-wise, this is such holidays.
Especially at this time of our evolution. It seems like we're going through a lot of transition right now.
There's awakening, there's changes. People are becoming more aware. That's hard. People,
like, you probably want to stay away from politics at the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah, that could be. I have some groups of friends, and we agree that we say no politics after, 9 p.m. We can talk about it cordially during the day, but then afterwards, it's no politics after, 9 o'clock. Yeah, just kind of creating those, spaces, those boundaries, and maybe just not participating too. Letting them do their crazy thing, find a new group to talk to, or maybe that's a good time for a bathroom break, or go take a little walk, or play with the kids, or pet the dog, or,
don't give them
really,
anything to talk about.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. So, it's hard in those situations to take back our own power, but we can do it. Like, you can do it. And just listen to you. Just listen to you and your needs, and respect you and respect them.
Great advice. Great advice.
Thanks.
My last question for you is about some of the miracles you've seen working with people. I'm sure you've seen some amazing things. So can you tell me, like, how you work with people and what you experienced working with them and how they're doing today?
Yeah. Well, I think specifically like any like big, massive, explosive experiences. I'm a pretty even keel kind of person. I've seen people come in to get body work, and I have my energy working spiritual support system for that. And so working with guides and stuff that allows for deeper healing. For instance, like the woman removing some grief. Or not just some grief, but that's a big deal, to take that out of your body really opens up so much more space for growth and healing. I've had people come just physically, let's say they had a repetitive work injury. I've seen a lot of people who, do desk work or even like contractor type work, a lot of building and hammering and working with big tools and stuff. And they come in and sometimes, we come into a session and we do the session and I hear that, the pain's gone. They don't need to come in anymore. That's what I want to hear every single time. Like, I want to hear that you came in, you got what you needed, and now you're back on track. So I love those stories. I definitely have quite a few of those stories. I have people who were still in process, and every time we meet, it's a new unfolding. And sometimes we step like 5 steps forward, and then there will be a week, and it's hard, and there's 3 steps back, but it's okay because we just see that where it is, and then we let it go. We forgive ourselves, we forgive other people, we forgive whatever it is. And then there's an assessment, and then you go back forward. And that's really a lot of what the coaching aspect is letting people, we all have the answers. It's a little humbling to say this, but I don't have the answers. I facilitate and I create a space where you can help find the answers. It's not really a great sales point, honestly, but it's the truth. We heal ourselves, we come from within, and sometimes we do need the help. And that's where I stand in. I support, I suggest, I help ask the deep questions. Sometimes we get to a point and we get stuck. And where I come in is I ask the deeper questions. And when we get to those deeper points, the light comes on and we get to a new, what do you call that? Like a new depth of healing, because we have so much that we're bringing in from past lives. That's my opinion. Karmic stuff, just experiences and possibly abuses from, childhood all the way up into being an adult. Yeah. So
do you get into past lives with your clients? I mean, after doing body work and maybe some Reiki, do you get an idea of where they were at in a previous life?
Not specifically. I don't personally do a lot of past life work. I will say what's in my head, but rarely does it have to do with past life. So that's not really my particular strong point or my gift. I'd say it's probably a gift. But yeah, that's not, I don't do a lot of the past life work personally. I mean, I do personally because I've spoken with, had readings and had revelations on my own past life, right? But I don't do as much for other people.
Do you usually recommend herbs to your clients?
Herbs are huge. Yeah. So like you were saying with the sleep, getting nourishment, herbs are part of the nourishment aspect. It's a quick, natural, safe way in most cases safe, to get the minerals that your body needs to be strong, to support your nervous system, to give you strength and groundedness. Sometimes just eating a nice plate of root vegetables is going to give you more grounding than, half an hour of meditation, because your body needs that. They both can work, but you also want to make sure that your physical body is being taken care of. So like with the herbs, I do a lot of like family medicine. So general wellness, immune support. I believe that when we hit these foundations, obviously there are some cases where you need to do specialized applications that are, for each individual, what their needs are. But my goal is, because I don't have a clinical practice right now, is to meet people's basic needs and support them so that they can get that extra little boost. And it's all stuff I use for my family. I ask myself, what am I going to provide for the world? And it's, well, I should probably, make available the things I already do. So that's really where I practice my herbal medicine from.
So Caitlin, how can we reach you if we wanted some help?
Yeah. Like if you're in the area, I could see you at Lightweavers in Citrus Heights. If you are distant some other town or state or whatnot, I do consultations and coaching over the phone or on, face-to-face-ish when you use Zoom, or I could use Skype or FaceTime, whatever application makes the most sense. You can find all of that on my website, thehonestherbalist.com. And there's a sign up there for basically anything that you need. I do offer free consultations. It's an opportunity for you to get to know me to get to know you, feel like if we make a good fit. So I really encourage people to take me up on that. I'd love to get to know you. I'd love to see if I can support you. And that's totally free.
You're awesome. Yeah. We're out of time. So I'd like to thank you again for being a guest on my show, and have a beautiful Thanksgiving with your family. Hopefully a happy Thanksgiving with your family.
Yes. No,
and I hope to see you again soon. Yeah, I hope to see you again
Valerie.
soon, Caitlin. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
So that was Caitlin. She's awesome. Anyway, thank you for listening to the show today. If you like what you hear, consider making a donation to Busy Yogi on this network, KCOR. We are 100% donation-based. If you have an idea for the show, please reach out to me at busyyogi@gmail.com. Until next time, have a wonderful weekend with family and friends. Be kind to yourself and to them. Namaste.
Thank you for listening to Busy Yogi, hosted by Valerie Okunami. Live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. For more information on lifestyle choices for a vibrant, healthier, and happier you, please visit her website at valerieokunami.com. Until next week, remain true to oneself. Namaste.
This is KCOR Las Vegas, home of the Digital Radio Network. Broadcasting from a shack just south of Area 51. Wait, that doesn't exist. This is the KCOR